there is no halo surrounding it. And all propagandists and scientists agree that the disturbance caused by the engine plume should be very noticeable.
Bull. Name one. Name one who says we should be able to see a bright plume in the visible light spectrum.
My pleasure. We already saw the JAXA and NASA article, and remember, the latter claimed that the Apollo astronauts in orbit saw the halo left by the engine. Here are some other individuals who claim the engine disturbance should be easily seen. This is Mark Robinson, the LRO project manager. When asked if LRO was the first to see the artifacts, this is what he had to say.
Yeah, I believe the Indian, Chinese, and Japanese missions have all taken images of the Apollo landing sites. I don't believe that they have the resolution, high enough resolution to actually show the hardware on the surface, although I believe that you can see markings that were maybe made by the descent engines disturbing the soil.
Next we have ESA's Bernard Foing, who worked on the Smart 1 project.
By punching a 10-metre hole in the Moon's surface, the probe has uncovered minerals different to the rocks gathered on the surface during moonwalks.
In the March 4, 2005 Space.com article, we find
Foing said that each Apollo site, where the engine blast of the two-person landing craft stirred up the landscape, could be worthwhile targets for Smart 1 imaging. We shall search for them, with measurements not only in black and white, but also in 3 colors giving some information about minerals, weathering, or rocket engine plume disturbance, he said.
And on the Indian side, when writing about the photos from Chandrayaan-1, Prakash Chauhan and A.S. Karankumar of the Indian Space Research Organisation state,
This change of reflectivity around the landing site is supposed to be caused by the exhaust plume of the lunar module engine, and apparently created a reflectance anomaly.
Returning to the Clementine scientists, it seems they compared their research to that of scientists Noel Hinars and Farouk El-Barnes.
In an Apollo 15 preliminary science report, Hinars and El-Baz studied 2 high-resolution photographs of the landing site vicinity. One picture was taken from the Falcon lunar lander during descent. The other image, snapped by astronaut Alfred Worden, was taken from the orbiting Apollo Command Service module, Endeavour, a few hours after Scott and Irwin had landed. Some brightening of the immediate vicinity of the landing point is seen in the second photo, Kreslovsky said.
And on Wikipedia's page on Apollo 15,
the halo area of the Apollo 15 landing site, generated by the LM's exhaust plume, was observed by a camera aboard the Japanese Lunar Orbiter, SELENE, and confirmed by comparative analysis of photographs in May 2008. This corresponds well to photographs taken from the Apollo 15 command module, showing a change in surface reflectivity due to the plume, and is the first visible trace of manned landings on the Moon seen from space since the close of the Apollo program.
and on their moon hoax page,
the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, JAXA, launched their SELENE lunar orbiter on September 14, 2007, from Tanegashima Space Center. SELENE orbited the Moon at about 100 kilometers altitude, that's 62 miles. In May 2008, JAXA reported detecting the halo generated by the Apollo 15 lunar module engine exhaust from a terrain camera image.
YouTube user Dr. Kraborkian posted a video response to one of my earlier documentaries. In that video, he used both the Clementine and SELENE as proof that the Apollo 15 was real. And I quote,
"Possibly the strongest evidence we have, and will have, is our ability to confirm the landing sites by looking at them. The Clementine mission was able to map the Moon, but wasn't able to see the landers. We, however, have found discolorations that may be associated with the landers. A is where the lander landed. B and C are new craters. Enter JAXA, the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency. According to their press release, their probe SELENE, also known as Kaguya, has made conclusive proof of the landings with its 3D imaging capabilities. It found a discoloration from where the Apollo 15 lander is. Without the disturbance, the moon's surface will stay the same, with the exception of impact scars.
Of course, he showed the wrong photos in his video, but his argument is clearly the same. And in the July 16th, 2006 article for Universe Today, Bad Astronomy's sister site,
the Japanese lunar mission SELENE, Selenological and Engineering Explorer, also known as Kaguya, has imaged the halo left behind in the lunar surface from Apollo 15's lunar module engine exhaust plume. After the lunar module blasted off on the moon, the lunar astronauts looked back on the launch site to see a fresh halo had formed after the surface was exposed to the module's engine exhaust plume. The NASA astronauts took before and after shots of the landing zone where a lightening of the surface is evident. The image, pictured left, processed by the SELENE mission instrument team, appears to show a bright patch in the exact location of the Apollo 15 lunar module landing zone at the foot of the Apennine Mountains around the Mare Imbrium close to Hadley Reel.
Does it come as any surprise that plate cyber groupies lapped this up? Messages like, "Take that, moon landing hoaxes," or "They'll probably just whinge that the photo is doctored," or something like that knob Hoagland does with NASA's Mars shots. "There's just no reasoning some people." Or, "Suck it, conspiracy theorists." Or, "I just hope they don't claim it's the lunar jalapeno, that it's not the lunar surface exposed by Apollo 15. We already have enough stupidity with the face on Mars." Who'd have thought that they'd laugh and gloat over data we know beyond a shadow of a doubt is erroneous? Here's another propagandist who overhyped about the halo. In his August 19th, 2008 entry for his blog, Rob Coppinger smugly wrote,
"If you are one of those subhuman fools who thinks that the Apollo moon landings were faked, then your conspiracy-believing days are numbered." The Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency has posted pictures of what it calls the halo generated by the Apollo 15 lunar module engine exhaust plume when it blasted off the moon.
And then there is the JAXA gallery showing the photo in question, with a nice little caption that reads, "The Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, JAXA, reported on the halo generated by the Apollo 15 lunar module engine exhaust plume that was detected in the data from the terrain camera TC image." So much for the guy who wrote that article getting demoted over that blunder. They even included it in their frequently asked questions page.
In addition, the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, JAXA, reported on the halo generated by the Apollo 15 lunar module engine exhaust plume that was detected in the data on February 24, 2008 from terrain camera image.
Then we go to the Lunar Explorers Society website, which uses this quote word for word. The Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, JAXA, reported on the halo generated by the Apollo 15 lunar module engine exhaust plume that was detected in the data from the terrain camera image. In the July 19th, 2008 IT Wire article entitled "Japanese SELENE confirms Apollo 15 landing spot on moon,"
according to the May 20th, 2008 Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency press release, entitled "The Halo Area Around Apollo 15 Landing Site, Observed by Terrain Camera on SELENE, Kaguya," the spacecraft has taken an image of the approximate 1 square kilometer halo left when the engine of the NASA Apollo 15 lunar lander descended to the moon.
Then we have this blog written by Joel Rupe, in which he links us back to the JAXA article and says the image is a
magnified view of the image near the landing site. The area surrounded by red lines are considered as the remnant of the halo, the exposed surface after blowing of the thrusted gas.
I could go on, but quite frankly, I'm exhausted. At the end of the day, Astrobrand asked for one individual who claims that there should be a bright halo left by the engine plume. I gave him 27, and there's more where that came from. I don't say that lightly either.